Hello YouTube, this is Bill McFadden and this tutorial is going to go over Berlin Orchestra Inspire. It's a sample library that's used for sketching orchestral stuff, and it does have your strings and your woodwinds and your brass and your percussion. So it's low resource, so everything will run even on a laptop. So let's get started. Berlin Orchestra Inspire is from Orchestral Tools, and it's a symphonic orchestra. It contains most of the instruments of the orchestra, and as they say, it's designed for a light layout, fast writing on mobile or light systems, but it's just good for sketching orchestrations. Sketching ideas that you have. Now the quality of the patches are excellent, and it does contain solo instruments as well as a grand piano and a harp, and it has some what they call an Essentials percussion patch, which contains a smattering of instruments, which we'll get into. We'll actually hear these samples. Now, the samples that this contains, it has a full orchestra patch, and it has articulations of sustains, a staccatissimo with 5 round robins, and special effects with 5 round robins, as well as a whole string hole ensemble with articulations, sustains, softs, spiccato, pizzicato, tremolo. And it has first chairs whole ensemble with these 2 articulations, high strings, 8 VA with legato, sustains, and spiccato, as well as low strings with legato, sustains, spiccato, and pizzicato. It has a violins 1 and 2 patch with legato, sustains, and spiccato, as well as a concert harp with sustains, and a brass whole ensemble with which includes your trumpets, your trombones, your tubas, with sustains, soft, staccatos, marcato, and it even has muted brass with sustains and staccatissimo. Also, of course, we have trumpets and horns, trombones and tubas, and they have these patches, and notice the round robins and the staccato and the marcato. And also we have the trombones and tuba with 8 VA with round robins and marcato. In addition, there's a solo horn, a solo trumpet with these articulations, as well as a woodwinds ensemble with, notice 5 round robins and the staccatissimo, and it also has half and whole tone trills. And we have a flute and clarinet combined patch with these articulations with or without vibrato, and staccatissimo with 3 round robins, as well as your half and whole tone trills. The bassoons and clarinets, a combined patch with those articulations and round robins, and also a solo flute with legato, sustains, and staccatissimo, as well as a solo clarinet with the same articulations. And of course, notice there is no solo oboe, for example. It's not entirely inclusive. And then we have the Percussion Essentials with 3 round robins, a marimba, and a xylophone, no celeste, and a glockenspiel, as well as timpani with single hits, 5 round robins, and the Steinway Grand. And then we have the bassoons and clarinets, combined patch with legato, sustained, staccato, and the solo flute with the same articulations and round robins. Actually, the solo flute does have staccatissimo, and the bassoons and clarinets have staccato. And solo clarinet with those articulations, Percussion Essentials, I think we went over those articulations earlier. And then we have timpani with single hits, 5 round robins, rolls, and a Steinway grand. So let's get into it. Let's take a look at some of the patches that we have. So here we have the full orchestral sustains. All the way up to piccolos. And then in the really low register, after our brass ends, we have some low woodwinds, bassoons, contrabassoons. Next we have the full orchestra staccatissimo. And then moving right along, we have special effects with the full orchestral. And then next, we have a string ensemble with sustains. And your volume is controlled with your mod wheel in all the patches in Orchestral tools. As with many other libraries. And then as you see, we have the strings, whole ensemble, sustain. So this is a soft sustain as opposed to the previous one. And then we have spiccato. And then we move into a tremolo patch for the string ensemble. Actually, it doesn't sound. Here we go. As you can see, the quality of these samples is excellent. Then we go into, or next we'll look at the brass ensemble. And again, your volume control is a mod wheel. And then we have a soft sustain. Followed by staccato. And again, it's an ensemble. And then we have marcato. Followed by some muted brass, an ensemble. And then muted brass staccato. And then we have trumpet and horn ensemble, 8 VA, an octave up. And then we have trumpet and horn. And then the next patch we'll look at is the trumpets and horns ensemble. Yeah, sorry about that. And it's a staccato patch. Here's the marcato patch. Trumpet and horn ensemble, 8 VA. And then we have the trombone ensemble and tuba. And this is a staccatissimo, trombones, and tuba. And then we have a solo horn legato patch. we're still on that one, sorry. Here's the legato horn. And the legato patches have portamento, which you can achieve by hitting the second note with a high velocity of 118 plus or so. Then we have these solo horn sustains. Solo horn staccato. Legato, solo trumpet. And notice you have a vibrato control you have without. Or with. And then we have sustains with vibrato or without. And we have staccato. So, solo trumpet staccato followed by a woodwind ensemble. So we're all the way down to C1. B flat 0. So your contrabassoons. Bassoons joining in. Some oboes in there, it sounds like. And clarinets. Some flutes and mixed in and so on. And piccolos. So in your woodwind ensemble, you get all those mixed in the way they thought it was best to do. Then we have a soft woodwinds patch. Actually, this one is staccato, sorry. Staccatissimo, actually. And then we have trills. So the way Orchestral Tools does trills, if you want a whole note trill, you just hit 2 consecutive whole notes. If you want a half note, 2 consecutive half note. Well, a half note. There's a half note there, whole note. And then we have a combined flutes and clarinets patch. Eight VA, so the clarinets. And after that, we have a flutes and clarinets sustain. That was the legato patch. So here's your sustains. And those we have the vibrato. You can do it without. And in this, as far as the reverb, they use one patch, which is a mix. Basically a mix. They do the Teldex Studio, so you get a mix. No close, no surround, just a mix of the basically close and medium mics, it seems. Then moving on. We have flutes and clarinets staccatissimo. And then we have the trills. And again, a whole tone away gives you a whole tone trill. And a minor second away or a semitone away gives you a minor second trill. Here's the legato clarinets. Again, the clarity and the sound quality, excellent. So that was legato. Now we have, or actually, this is sustains, and the previous one was your legato. Staccato, bassoons and clarinets. And then now we're into the solo flute. and then sustain, solo flute. Then we have flute staccatissimo. Followed by the solo clarinet legato. Now, Berlin Strings does have an expansion A, B, C, and even D in the Woodwinds, and so you can get these solo instruments with lots of articulations and a. But again, this is just a sketching one. It's for low system resources, so you can use it on laptops when you're traveling. So here's your solo clarinet sustains. And here's staccatissimo clarinet solo. Now we're into the Percussion Essentials. So down at C2. Starts at C1 with bass drum. Sounds like a tam-tam. Some scrapes. Yeah, it is. A little bit of tom-toms. Snare. So, a nice selection of percussion essentials. And then after that, we get into the combined marimba and xylophone. And then we have the glockenspiel. Starting at a low of F4. And then we have a timpani, starting at C3. And starting over again. And then we have timpani rolls. Starting at C3 and ending at B7. Then we have the harp. Followed by a piano Steinway. And then we'll get it back into some strings. This is first chair as the whole ensemble. So you're getting your cellos, pretty much, violas and violins. And then first chair's spiccato. Followed by high strings legato. And you hear the portamento. Nice patch. And then high string sustains. And then we have spiccato, high strings. Followed by some low string sustains. I think I may have jumped too far. So here's high stains, legato, high string sustains, spiccato. Now we're into the low strings, sustains. So I'm running on a 256 buffer at this point, so it is pretty low impact, and all these patches are loaded at the same time. Okay, it looks like I skipped a MIDI channel here. So here's your low strings legato. Again, excellent patches. We looked at the low string sustains. There's your low string spiccato. And then we're almost done. pizzicato, low strings. Now your violins 1 and 2 legato. Sustains, violins 1 and 2. And then sounds like spiccato. For violins and 1s and 2. So that ends this sampling of really every patch that's included in the Inspire library by Orchestral Tools. So this is Bill McFadden. If you like this tutorial or this exposition, please click like. And if you wish to subscribe, please subscribe and you'll be notified of any updates, and there will be many in the upcoming days. So this is Bill McFadden signing off.